Hey guys, Mark Balash here. Do you want to learn how you can make 10, 20 or 30% investing in tax deeds? Or better yet, how to leverage tax deeds and possibly end up owning a property for pennies on the dollar? In this video, I'm going to talk about how you can more than double your original investment. And after watching this, you will get a good understanding of the tax deeds, the research process, the auction process, and how you can use this as a tried and true investment strategy. The stock market is on a shaky ground. Experts mostly agree we're on the verge of a decline in residential real estate values. Commercial real estate is in the gutter. Crypto is extremely high risk, and worst of all, inflation is just eating away day by day at the value of your cash. So where do you allocate capital amidst of this uncertainty? Find out the answers in this video. I talk about the basics of tax lien certificates in my previous video that was recently released. In this video, we'll talk about tax deeds. So what is the tax deed? The short answer is a tax deed is a legal document that looks something like this, granting ownership of the property to another owner if and when the owner fails to pay for property taxes. I will just quickly explain the difference between tax liens and tax deeds. By purchasing a tax lien certificate, you are paying money to the county for back taxes on any property that was due for a particular year. The county will foreclose on a property if the redemption period is not met. Tax liens are first position liens on real estate due to delinquent property taxes. With a tax deeds, you are purchasing a property at the auction. In some cases, there may be a redemption period. In other cases, depending on the state you are investing in, there is no redemption period, and you may end up purchasing a property that you will own free and clear. Typically, the property has to be delinquent for 3, 4, up to 5 years before it will go to a tax deed sale. So technically, the property owner has up to 5 years to pay for all the back taxes, plus interest and penalties that vary from state to state. We will look at the whole picture of both tax liens and tax deeds and how they're connected in one equation. So let's look at the simple scenario here. Joe Smith owns the property that has a fair market value of $200,000 and he's paying $2,000 for property taxes. For whatever reason, he became delinquent on taxes and is unable to pay $2,000. In a situation like this, the county will start sending notices to Joe basically stating that he needs to pay $2,000 plus interest and penalty. That will continue to occur until Joe pays the whole thing off. More and more tourists. That's okay. Okay, we're in Orlando, what can I say? Anyways, so the county needs the money to survive. So they will issue a tax lien certificate, and that may be going on for several years. An investor will purchase a tax lien certificate on this property in exchange for an interest the county guarantees to an investor. And this may continue for up to 5 years. By far, everyone is happy in this scenario. Joe has more time to pay for the property taxes. The county got paid, allowing them to continue their day-to-day operations, and the investor is earning an interest on tax lien certificate the county guarantees. Everybody is happy. 5 years later, the county will say, enough is enough. The person had 5 years to pay for the property taxes, and so what the county will do next is they will send one final notice to the property owner, Joe, that will say something like this. The property will be going to a tax deed auction. You do have one final opportunity to pay for all the back taxes. In our scenario, $2,000 times 5 years, that's $10,000 plus interest and penalty. If you do not pay by such and such date, you will lose your home as a result of it. Why would a county do that? Remember, the county needs money to pay for schools, libraries, firemen, to maintain roads, and the list goes on and on. Just like you and I have to pay for electricity, rent, and mortgage, the county has to pay for all the services they provide to stay in business. Because just like a person can file for a bankruptcy, so can the county or the city. And I'm sure you all heard what happened in San Bernardino, California, Detroit, Michigan, and many other counties and cities in the past. What happens next, and how will this property appear on a tax deed sale. As a result of Joe not being able to pay for property taxes, the county will issue what's called a tax deed document that is published in a local newspaper and on a county's website. It's public information. To make it even more clear, Joe's property is going to public auction and will be sold to the highest bidder. The property is going to have an opening bid of around $10,000, maybe $10,500. Remember, 2,000 multiplied by 5 years, that's 10 grand, plus interest and penalties, and admin fees the county will need to get paid for. So how does that work? How much of a homework or research did you have to do prior to purchasing a house you're currently living in? Seriously, think about it. It is no different here. Proper due diligence and research are one of the most important aspects of investing in tax deeds. If your research is not done properly, your risk will increase dramatically and you may lose your money in this investment. However, if the research is done correctly, your profits can also increase accordingly. Stay tuned and I will explain the research process in details and how you can get started looking for properties right away. Let's begin by determining your investment objectives. First, the amount of money you can dedicate towards tax deeds investing. Second, the region you will be investing in, the states and the counties. It may be the state you live in, or it could be the county your cousin lives in. Preferably a state or a city you can have someone to look at those properties, making sure there's a physical structure standing. Then you will want to find a local realtor in the area you are planning to be investing in. When you reach out to them, be honest and respect their time. Finally, it is ideal, in my personal opinion, to determine in advance how much money would you like to earn investing in tax deeds, based on the time you're gonna put into it. I paid close to $40,000, learned about tax liens and tax deeds from experts, and I was told I will get my money back on my first tax deed transaction. And they were right. You don't have to pay all that money to obtain the information I paid for. I'm sharing everything I have learned in my videos on my channel. I hope it's not gonna rain. Anyways, okay, so let's go over the research process step by step. Number one, download the list of properties from the county's website. In most cases, you will be able to download the list directly from the county's website for free. In other cases, you will need to purchase the list, and typically, the longer the list, the more it is going to cost you. And it may be $40, it could be $1,600. But you don't have to worry about that part, because I would say the majority of the counties do not charge for the list. You want to be constantly downloading and working the list of properties that goes for sale from multiple counties, not one or two. Volume is important, and this should be the process that will never stop. Why? Well, because if you'll be looking at Iowa, for example, it may take you 1 year before purchasing the property. If you will be looking at a county with a higher density population that has a long list, it may not take you that long to purchase one. Number two, have the list imported into an Excel spreadsheet if the list is too long. You will be receiving the list in different formats. If it is going to be a challenge for you, please let me know in the comments below and I will create a separate video with instructions on how to get this done. Number three, now that you have the list in an Excel spreadsheet, the next step is to have the list sorted by your criteria. And it could be by assessed value, it could be by location, whatever criteria you will set. Number four, at this point, you can remove properties from the list that are outside of your criteria. And that step alone will shorten your list significantly. Let's say from 2,000 properties to maybe 90 properties. Number five, you are now down to, let's say, 90 properties to work with. In the next step, I want you to take a closer look at the areas those properties are located in. The zip code, jobs, crime, school district, property values, and look at the overall growth just to get a feel for the area. Maybe talk to a realtor that can answer the basic questions. Just ask her if she would want to move, what area would she choose and why. Number six, let's say you have just eliminated another 40 properties from your list, leaving you with 50 properties on your list. And this is where the fun begins. This is by far the most important step of your research. You will need to accurately determine the average fair market value of those properties. What I do is look at the fair market value from multiple most commonly used websites such as Zillow, Trulia, Realtor, Redfin, Remax, Home. There are some other good websites that you can find as well. Here's a little suggestion. I always look at a minimum of 5 different websites to get a more accurate number and sense of the average fair market value of the property. If you look at only 2 numbers from 2 websites, that may not represent the accurate number. However, by comparing 4 or 5 numbers, that will represent more accurate average fair market value of those properties. Remember, this is not a 100% accurate number, but it's a good start. Number 7, let's say you did not like additional 25 properties after determining the fair market value of the properties, or there may be some other reason. You now have 25 properties left on your list. You know what the fair market value of those properties is, the school district, the crime, the jobs, you have the pictures of the property. Pictures! We haven't talked about the pictures. Sorry. Okay, so let's do a step 8. There are a couple of things you can do. If you know someone living in the area, just ask him to go out and take 3-4 pictures per property. You need to have pictures from each property. Another thing that you can do is hire a company. There is one in particular that we like called Velocity that charges like $15 per property depending on the location. They will go nearly anywhere and take the pictures for you. Number 9, check existing liens and encumbrances on the property. You will need to check any outstanding liens associated with the properties. There may be some liens on the property that you need to be aware of. Number 10, determining your maximum bid on every single property on your list. Properly determining your maximum bid is probably one of the most important skills you will have to learn. Maximum bid is the amount of money you're willing to pay at the auction for any particular property. Here in our example, the property has a fair market value of $255,451 based on our research. If you set your maximum bid to $178,815, for example, you are attempting to purchase this property for 70 cents on the dollar or at a 70% discount. And so these are the most important and critical steps that cannot be missed. You absolutely cannot bid on any property without having done complete research on the property, seeing the pictures of the property, being 100% sure you are looking at the correct property. I've sometimes found myself in a situation of not being able to determine which house I was looking at. It can get frustrating sometimes. Having enough money to pay for the property based on your maximum bid, knowing at what percentage you are attempting to purchase the property. So let's talk about the auction process. When you are purchasing properties at a tax deed auction, you are expecting to pay for the property taxes worth of 3, 4, maybe 5 years. For example, if the property tax is $2,500, take $2,500 times 5, that's $1,250, and that will be your opening bid at the auction, plus some other fees. Let's say the opening bid is going to be $13,000, could be more or less. The home prices in Indiana are not the same as the properties in California, and neither are the property taxes. If the county you're going to be bidding in conduct live auctions, expect to see anywhere from several up to several hundred bidders at the auction. You will also notice that many other bidders at the auctions have absolutely no clue what they're doing, and many of them are there just to observe. If it is an online auction, you simply set your maximum bid and just wait. You will be able to set your maximum bid online several days prior to the sale. One of the 3 things will happen at the auction. Either you will be outbid by other investors, in which case you will just continue the process going to other sales and in other counties. The property will be unexpectedly withdrawn from the list during live or an online auction, or you will be the highest bidder and you will just become a new owner of the property. The county handles the entire transaction between Joe, the person that is delinquent, and an investor that is purchasing tax deed. You will never deal with anyone else but the clerk at the county. Things to remember. With tax liens, you are inquiring lien on a property. You buy tax liens to earn interest. You buy tax deed to acquire the property. Be prepared to make significant amount of money when you're doing everything the right way and you are consistent. And I'm not kidding. Our focus has been investing in tax deed properties, and we're very good at what we do. As a matter of fact, I'm proud to mention that none of our joint venture partners has ever lost money on any of our transactions. I feel like this is something I need to mention. There is often a misconception of investors taking advantage of property owners during their financial hardships. The reality of it is, investors give property owners a huge advantage by giving them more time to pay for the taxes. The grace period of 2, 3, up to 5 years. If you think about it, when you stop making payments on your car, how long will it take before it will get towed? If you do not pay for electricity, how long will it take before they will shut it off? I think you got my point. The property owner has 5 years to fix the situation. If you look at the whole picture here, everyone wins in this situation. You as an investor, if you buy tax lien certificates, who earns interest that is guaranteed by the county, the property owner that had more time to pay for the taxes, and the county got paid. Everyone won in this scenario. Due diligence and properly completed research is one of the most important and critical things to master, which is one of the reasons I decided to do a separate video on it. We'll go over the entire process from start to finish, going over each step mentioned in this video in great details. We will randomly pick the state and the county. By the way, I can suggest a state or the county you want me to work on. We will register a new business account online with the county. We will purchase or download the list of properties that goes for sale. We will import the list into an Excel spreadsheet and sort it. We will do a comprehensive research on properties we'll be considering purchasing. We will determine a fair market value of the properties on our list. We will set our maximum bid for each property on our list. We will finally attend the auction and physically bid on the properties on our list. We may or may not be the highest bidder, and that's okay. My goal is to show you the entire process from start to finish. And this video will be an eye-opening experience for you, I promise. If we end up purchasing a property, we'll do another follow-up video showing you what we did with the property and how much money we made on it. Guys, I'm so excited about this video, just talking and thinking about it. Please comment below if this is something you would be interested in seeing. Thank you all, and I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did, please like and subscribe. Until next time.